Guys, this album turns 10 years old today, February 3rd, 2019, the day I'm putting out this album review. 10 years of A Day to Remember's Homesick. Where did the time go?
Right out the window.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to ARTV. My name is John. It's time for a 10th anniversary review of the third studio album by the pop, punk, metalcore, and post-hardcore band A Day to Remember from Ocala, Florida. This album is, of course, titled Homesick. This review was made possible by my patron, Caden. They're supporting me over there, so if you would like to get a request in for an album like this, perhaps a top 10, then visit the top link down below. It greatly helps support the channel, and of course you do get rewards in return. At this point, if you know about A Day to Remember, then you probably know about their lawsuit and issues with Victory Records. Of course, this record did come out on that label in 2009. They had a big single in the form of The Downfall of Us All, and that song really dominated that year. That's how I got into them. I was introduced to the band by a music video playing on Fuse for The Downfall of Us All, and I was instantly struck by the heaviness and also just the tenacity that that song had. It's so fun, you instantly want to just chant along, da 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 da, and then those thundering guitars, they hammer it all home, but it also has the melody, and A Day to Remember really struck a chord between the pop punk and the post-hardcore. Now that the record has been alive and breathing for 10 years, the baby is on its way to becoming a man or woman or whatever the hell an album wants to be, I suppose. How does it hold up? That's the burning question that I'm sure a lot of people want to see me get to the bottom of, and I know a lot of you are already having strong opinions like, this holds up, this is glory, this is God tier when it comes to metalcore and pop punk, or else you're like, I don't care, I dismissed this record 10 years ago, it's time to dismiss it again. The goal of this video is obviously to review this album and to give my personal thoughts on it, and I'll slowly break down how I feel about it holding up 10 years later, and of course let you know thoughts on individual songs and the overall sound. But this is a record that's been in my life for nearly a decade. It is special in some ways. Even if I don't think it's golden, I'm not totally in love with it. This is a record that I really respect and do like. I've had so many friends and even my girlfriend now who are super into this sound, and Homesick is always listed as one of their best records, and I absolutely stand by that statement. It's one of the best records in their discography, and I hope to talk more about them in the future. Victory Records was quick to tap on the door of A Day to Remember saying, "We want another album very soon," but they weren't quite ready, so they had to re-release the second record, and then finally they readied their new album while they were out on tour. They collaborated with Chad Gilbert, who you probably know from maybe What's Eating Gilbert, and also, of course, New Found Glory. He produced this alongside the band, and I do like the sound that's achieved here. It can feel a bit one-noted in places, and that definitely is a drawback, but for what it is, it's very fun. It's kind of an enthralling experience, and when you're in there, when you're in the cage match, so to speak, you're not gonna not have fun and cut loose. Homesick saw the band further smoothing out their sound, adding in some more accessibility with the pop-punk styled hooks, which are extremely catchy. I'm Made of Wax, Larry, What Are You Made Of is one that draws you in. Have Faith in Me. So many of these other tracks, even some of the deeper cuts, like You Already Know What You Are, they get ingrained in your memory pretty quickly, so the band did a good job at putting that stamp down there and having the catchiness, but there's still kind of a melodic post-hardcore type thing going on because of the heavy chugging guitars that sure can feel a bit bro-y at times, but still it's something that's good and I think kind of a release in a way. This is a special record for A Day to Remember because it really started them on the path to self-discovery and enlightenment, I suppose, for what they wanted to do, the sounds that they wanted to create and put out in the world. And this record, alongside their next one, What Separates Me From You, and eventually Common Courtesy in 2013, just a fantastic release. And the ideas, you can see them starting to come to the surface here. Maybe they weren't all thought out, not all the way and fully formed, but they were definitely onto something. New Jersey Legion Iced Tea is one of my personal favorite tracks. It perfectly blends together that pop-punk charm and sensibility with a heavier, more menacing guitar and drum combo. It's a song that you kind of crank the windows down to and just let loose. Let your hair flow, it's a summer day. And Jeremy McKinnon, the lead vocalist, talked about how this was about attending shows and concerts as a kid, that freedom and that experience that you just felt. You soaked it in, and this is a very nostalgic feeling song, as is much of the record. And sometimes they definitely harped on this, and they played to this style, that balance between pop punk and metalcore post-hardcore, and sometimes it worked out better than others. This is one of the best times. There were some guest vocal spots on this record which helped set it apart from their past discography. They had the vocalist from The Devil Wears Prada, Mike, come on the track I'm Made of Wax, Larry, and then you've got on Welcome to the Family, a nice heavy tune with a great breakdown, Vincent Bennett from the Acacia Strain, and then you had Sierra from Versa Emerge, later known as Versa, on the closing track, If It Means a Lot to You, which is a fan favorite where everybody's singing la, 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 until you come home. It's one of those tracks, you're missing someone, the distance is between you. There's some nice acoustic guitars here. I don't know if I like it as much as I like some of their other ballads like You Had Me at Hello, and even on this record Have Faith in Me, but it's still a nice tune. If nothing else, Homesick is endearing, despite the fact that it has flaws, despite the fact that it feels cheesy and gimmicky in places. I'm willing to overlook that and forgive it because of its sheer grit and determination. It's trying to make you have a good time, and because it's trying but not trying too hard, I think it succeeds at that. Whether you're looking to lose yourself in the rhythmic My Life for Hire, or the heavier yet also oddly catchy track Holdin' It Down for the Underground, or maybe you're looking to revisit an old friend like The Downfall of Us All, this record is gonna have something for you. If you're interested in pop punk and metalcore and post-hardcore, I do think that this album has a nice nostalgia factor, and looking at it without the rose-colored glasses in the past saying, oh, everything was better back then. This record doesn't entirely hold up, but it definitely holds up a whole lot better than a lot of that MySpace era bullshit that was coming down the pipe. My favorite and least favorite tracks, along with a link to stream this album, can be found in the description box down below. Please drop a like on this review today and subscribe for the love of music, because we talk about music every single week on both of my channels. If you would like to let me know your thoughts on this record, please do so in the comments section. Do you think this album has held up well, or do you think this is something that you just kind of pass on at this point and you're like, it's okay, or else it's cheesy, or else I just find it downright cringy. Any and all thoughts are welcome, of course, and if there's other anniversary reviews that you'd like to see me do in the future, then comment down below, and feel free to sign up to my Patreon to help support the channel, because this was brought to us by a patron. Thanks again for watching my 10th anniversary review of Homesick by A Day to Remember, their third studio album. Any and all thoughts welcome in the comment section down below, and of course tap the annotation in the corner if you want to go support on Patreon. If you want to see another A Day to Remember review, then tap right here, or tap here for another Patreon-supported review. Socials in the description, and I'll see you soon for more on ARTV.